Alright guys, Crypto Kurt here with another ICO review video, and today I'm going to have a look at Digipulse. Now Digipulse is an interesting concept because it's basically looking at providing you the ability to put your cryptocurrencies in a secured wallet, which then can be triggered in the future by some event to release those funds to whoever you decide you want to release them to. Okay, so basically it's a kind of crypto will, right? So it allows you again to use the blockchain to create a contract to stipulate the benefactor and also to stipulate which cryptocurrencies would be made available to that specific benefactor. And yes, as I understand it, you can have multiple contracts. So you could, theoretically, if you had multiple children, you could set up one of these contracts per child and again set that up so that that person would receive a set amount of cryptocurrencies based on your demise. Now you'll see when we look at the numbers that the pre-ICO has already happened, and now we're actually in the current ICO phase, and they came nowhere near close to selling out. They are still in the Tier 1 phase, which means you can still purchase and get a 20% bonus. Before we get to that, though, let's just take a look at what makes this service so special. We're talking about a decentralized core. They're going to have secure vaults. Even this company will not know what's inside a vault. They're going to use double encryption. It's a trustless architecture. We are going to have a look at the white paper. The security section is very, very full on, way beyond my understanding. So they're obviously putting in a serious amount of effort into securing this project. From the blog, we can see that currently the pre-token sale started on the September 28th. Excuse me. And that's live now, and here we go. So if you're a Cliff High fan, that's the one testimonial that they have put, where Cliff High says it's another of these great eyes from Open Minds in Latvia. Okay, and again, Digipulse consider themselves very well positioned to take on the responsibilities of this space. He's not saying they are; he's saying that they say they are. Okay. But again, if you get Cliff High talking about your ICO, that's a big boom for a lot of people because a lot of people put a lot of credence into Cliff High's opinions. Okay, so how does the service work? So it's a service model. Digipulse is a subscription-based SaaS platform, software as a service platform, that allows you to store and encrypt information on the Digipulse blockchain and make it inheritable, only accessible to the specified recipients. The account holder is not required to inform any of the inheritors about the service beforehand, so the service can be used as an online dead man switch. All the information stored on Digipulse is encrypted, and connected integrations are kept private until the confirmation of death has been received. Information about the integration is disclosed to the inheritors only upon receiving a confirmation of the death of the account holder. Now I'm going to go out on a limb here and give my own personal opinion that I think that one of the reasons why this ICO is not blown up and sold out in the short term is because the bulk of the people who currently are investing in cryptos are not even thinking about death. I would reckon the bulk of the people buying cryptos these days are millennials or younger. And I know that when I was 30, less than 35, I certainly wasn't thinking about dying. And I certainly wasn't thinking about what I was going to do with my assets, because at the time, personally, I didn't have a whole lot of assets to think about. I think things have changed these days. There's a lot of young people who are very crypto wealthy. And, you know, if you get hit by a bus tomorrow, where's that crypto going to go? You know, how, you're going to pay your mom's house, you're going to pay off your sister's house, you're going to give some to your aunt, your uncle, do you have kids? The reality is, if you get hit by a bus tomorrow and you haven't done anything about your cryptos and you own all your private keys and they're on a secret, Trezor or in a wallet on your computer or printed out in your safe, again, you can see the issue there, that it would be nice to have an automated solution to help you disperse those cryptos at your time of passing. So if we jump into the white paper and have a look at some of the details they talk about here, you can see the opportunity blockchain. Basically, I want to point out that in our case, we're using this technology to create a new service for those who wish to keep their assets safe, make them inheritable, and remain anonymous if they wish to. Okay, so there's basically two ways you can invest into this platform. sorry, not two ways to invest, but two ways you can enter the platform. One is anonymously, and one is obviously non-anonymously, whereby you're making your personal information available to those people who are inheriting your goods, and they would actually know that they are inheriting your goods. Okay, so again, you've got those two options. Let's take a look quickly at the token distribution. You can see the, now this is a bounty distribution, so probably not the best thing for me to show you right yet. Okay, here's the actual distribution content. The initial coin offering of DGPT starts on the 1st of the 10th, ends on the 31st of the 10th. Tokens will be transferred to users as soon as the purchase is made. They're going to be distributing 12,700,000 DGPT. And that's from a total supply of 20,483,871. You can see that currently this is what the price is going to be. So again, they're going to be doing 12,700,000 tokens, 0.004 ETH per token. Maximum purchase per person is 2 million tokens. Minimum purchase is 0.5 ETH. So that's 125 tokens plus your bonus. Currently, here's the bonus structure. The original buyer's round is done. We're currently in the first batch, so if you do go in and purchase some now, you can get a 20% bonus. And then they go on to talk a little bit more about what they're doing with the tokens. I think it's interesting how they're trying to be very careful to explain how they're going to spend the money. And they're only going to spend the money in chunks as is required. So and here's the raised funds usage. They are doing everything they can to avoid the pump and dump, which happens with a lot of these ICOs. And again, you can read through this yourself to see how they're going to store the funds, how they're going to break it down, again, the distribution pie and all that good stuff. Okay, so why am I even looking at this? Well, as you guys know, if any of you have been following my channel, I'm into trying to find opportunities to create passive income, okay? And these guys are offering an opportunity to create passive income by becoming a storage provider for their solution. Okay, now, this is a bit convoluted, so I'm going to read through this, and there's one part of it that I don't completely understand, but maybe someone smarter than me can have a look and give me their opinion and come back to me on it. But basically, if you sign up as a storage provider, which means you're going to make some hardware, some gigs available to them on a machine that you have. So you can just go buy a machine, sit it on the side, let it run. Again, they don't go into the specifics of how that's going to happen, but it sounds like it's kind of a normal staking operation where, again, you're going to make storage available on your PC, and the network is going to take advantage of that, and then you're going to get paid out based on the number of tokens that you have. Now, as it explains here, they will receive the token holders, the storage space providers. Will receive 50% of the DGPT tokens that will accumulate by Digipulse as a means of payment for the service from the users. So to get your head around that, basically you will have to have a token to set up a smart contract. Okay, so they're going to be basically using the tokens to set up the smart contracts, but then 50% of the DGPT that's paid into the service is going to be paid right back out to the storage providers. There's also another bonus here, and this is the part I'm not completely clear on, where once you've acquired 10,000 DGPT tokens, you can change those 10,000 into one DGPS token that will grant 75% of the 50% that will be accumulated by Digipulse as a means of payment for the service from the users in the form of ETH. Now, as I read that, it sounds like once you get 10,000 DGPT tokens and you're normally paid out in DGPT tokens, once you switch them to a DGPS token, your payouts will then, or a portion of your payouts will then be made in ETH. I think that's what this is saying. And then it goes on to say the token circulation. Basically, they're going to make 25% of all of the tokens will remain on the smart contract, serving as a reserve for rewarding storage providers in cases when no smart contracts have been set up and no revenue from asset release timestamp resets are made. Okay, that's very wordy, but basically the way the system works is you're going to put up a DGPT token to create one of these smart contracts. It's not until that smart contract is triggered, so it's not until you die or you say that you want that triggered or whatever activity-based function you've defined as the trigger mechanism, that DGPT token is actually paid into the system. So I guess what's going to happen is you're going to put it into an escrow or put it into a wallet, and then it's going to sit there, and it's not actually going to get paid into the system until your contract is actually executed. Once that's executed, a portion of that execution is going to be made available to the people who are providing storage. And again, you can do some math here. It also says, okay, so the minimum payout for each cycle is 1,000 DGPT, thus incentivizing storage providers to support the blockchain. Upon receiving the revenue of more than 1,000 DGPT, 20% of the DGPT are allocated to refill the shares of the company on the smart contract, and the rest is being distributed to the storage holders and future DGPS holders. So as I said, I think it's going to be an opportunity to create some ongoing passive income in the form of being paid in these tokens, but you would have to take on being a storage provider. Okay, so it's I don't see any other way in here that you can make money from this system or from these tokens, except for, of course, the capital gains, unless you actually become a storage provider. So that might put a lot of you right off, and that's cool. That's why I'm still on the fence of whether I'm looking at this or not. This is not going to be buy now and flip tomorrow for $1 million. No way. As I said, I think most people in this space probably are not thinking anything about death, and they're not thinking about how to protect themselves, and they're probably not thinking about how to protect those assets because they just haven't got there in their mindset yet. For those of us who are past the, let's just say the half-century mark, I think all of us would start to say, wow, this is something I should probably investigate and maybe pick up a few of these, even if I just want to use the platform, okay? Okay, the last thing I want to mention here is they do have a bounty system. So if you do join this platform, you can come in here and do things like what I'm going to do, create a video. I'm going to create a link to that video. There'll be a link below, and if you'd like to sign up with Digipulse, I'd really appreciate you clicking through that link. And then you can also, if you create content, you can do different kinds of things to actually get a bonus tokens. But once you've done a link, once you've created a post or done a video, you come in here and you post that, submit it, and they'll review it. And then you can see there's a table of it shows some percentages that you might get paid out if they like what you've done with regard to promoting their product. All right, guys, well, that's me with this one. I'm going to spend some more time going through the white paper. Again, there's a lot of math in there. There's also a lot of security. So if you're a crypto technician and you're really interested on how the security is going to work, it's full on. There's a whole massive section of security in the white paper, so well worth taking the time to do it. It's, again, too technical and too boring for me to try to educate anyone. It's way beyond my understanding of blockchain at the moment. So, guys, again, it's kind of an interesting opportunity. You know, you're talking about digital crypto wills, which sit on the blockchain and are activated by some activity that you trigger. Oh, by the way, some of those activities could be things like, I haven't touched my Facebook account, I haven't logged into my Facebook account for 2 months. Or, there are some external things that you can set up as triggers. So, very interesting concept. Come take a look at it. As I said, it may not be for you. It certainly isn't a get-rich opportunity. But if you're already mining or you already have a bunch of storage sitting around that you can make available, this could be a really good opportunity for some passive income going forward. All right, guys, Crypto Kurt out.